Plaquemines residents turned out in force tonight for a meeting on their water. The Department of Environmental Quality says it still doesn't know the origin of vinyl chloride that seeped into the water supply of Myrtle Grove Trailer Park. One well tested within a mile of the trailer park showed levels of vinyl chloride 21 times acceptable levels. WAFB's Bob Waters was at that meeting tonight and has more. Bob?
Well, George, the source of the poison has been pinpointed to an area north and east of the city. That's where the DOW chemical plant is. That plant produces vinyl chloride.
And we wanted to share this information with you as soon as possible.
DEQ officials told area residents, lawyers, and environmentalists what their preliminary findings have concluded. Vinyl chloride in their water appears to come from an area in the direction of DOW chemical, but they can't say exactly where. That didn't sit too well with people who want answers now.
I'm asking a question because I want to know how to answer my children.
Residents holding signs reading "Cancer Alley-oops" and others demonstrating their anger and frustration over something state health officials say went unnoticed for years.
It causes miscarriages. It causes problems with your lungs.
A local doctor explains the health risks to a crowd becoming more familiar with the chemical, yet unfamiliar with its source, a source which some think is DOW chemical.
We're going to provide the access to our properties. We're going to do sampling and share and split samples with LDEQ and allow them to come up with their own independent data so this can be resolved as to where the direction of the flow of this plume might be coming from.
Now, both DOW and DEQ will start testing an area between the chemical plant and one of the most contaminated water wells in Plaquemines. We're told that testing will start this week.
Showed no signs of contamination.
Vinyl chloride goes up, it doesn't go down. So it's really a liquid under pressure. So what we're seeing in the ground is not the vinyl chloride that's produced in the plant.
The meeting was organized by the Louisiana Environmental Action Network. Another meeting is being planned.
Well, in the ongoing search for answers to the source of a poisonous leak contaminating the water in Plaquemines Parish, DOW Chemical has conducted a private poll to find out just how much the public really knows about what is going on and what they think about what's going on. WFB's Shauna Sanford has a copy of a survey which asks residents everything from where they think the leak is coming from to how many people over there believe their water from a new water supply is safe to drink.
Well, now, Paul, in addition to last night's meeting between DOW and the residents of Myrtle Grove, DOW surveyed nearly 400 residents in Plaquemines earlier this month to get a more accurate gauge of how the residents feel about the water situation. And we have a copy of that internal survey. Now, the experts say they don't yet know where the contamination is coming from. And while for many people it seems that all roads lead to DOW, the chemical company decided to take its own poll to find out if that is really how most people feel. The survey asked questions like, what are the most important problems in Iberville Parish, and what are the most important environmental problems facing the parish? Both times, residents responded they were most concerned about pollution, bad drinking water, and groundwater contamination. Now, even though most people are getting their water from the city instead of privately owned wells, they overwhelmingly believe that their tap water is not safe to drink. And when it comes to finding the source or the solution of the poisonous leak, residents want both. Donna Carville with DOW says this survey helps give them the inside track to what the community really wants.
It does is it helps us, again, as a way of listening to our neighbors and helping us to understand what we should do next. And what it says to us is, yes, they want everybody to go find the source. And while we're doing that, let's also start working on the solutions.
Now, Paul, the survey has a 6.3% margin of error. And as a result of the vinyl chloride leak, residents of Myrtle Grove experienced brown water with a very bad odor. They were getting their water from a privately owned well, and they thought that when they got on the city water, all of their problems would go away. But at 6 o'clock, you'll hear from one resident who says that that is not necessarily the case.
Shauna, could I ask you one very quick question? Was this a poll that was conducted to be released to the public, or did we get this from some other source?
Actually, Paul, we did get it from another source. We contacted DOW, and we were told that it was an internal survey, and they would not initially release it to us, but it was released to us. They are working in conjunction with the Department of Environmental Quality, and that is where we got our survey.
All right. Thank you so much, Shauna. I appreciate it.
Now, an internal survey of the residents of Plaquemine conducted by Dow Chemical Company. Officials tried to keep it out of the public eye, but WAFB's Shauna Sanford has obtained a copy of that report and has details.
While samples of the groundwater in Plaquemine continue to be tested, Dow Chemical has conducted its own survey of what residents think about the contamination of their drinking water. In the survey, Dow asked, what are the most important problems facing Iberville Parish? Respondents ranked the environment and water contamination higher and just as high as drugs and crime. And when asked about the most important environmental problems, bad drinking water earned the top spot. Donna Carville with Dow says they were not surprised.
The community was surveyed, the Plaquemine community in particular. And water quality, that is something that is an issue and it needs to be addressed.
The next question, do you think your tap water is safe to drink? The majority said no, with the breakdown 70% African American, 38% white.
90% of the folks in the area are on the City of Plaquemine water, and the water is excellent. And the mayor has had the system tested recently, and it's clean.
The water was brown.
But Tammy Green, who lives in Myrtle Grove, says even though she is on the city water, she still has serious concerns about the safety of the water.
We are on city water, but we had occurrence of brown water, same as we had months ago. So we're not sure that it's safe to drink.
As for the source of the contamination, 43%, both black and white, responded don't know or won't answer. 30% said the chemical plants and 14% said Dow Chemical.
We can't put all the pieces of the puzzle together yet. And regardless of the sources of the contamination, we're part of the community and we want to be part of the solution.
And for Tammy Green and the rest of the community, the solution can't come soon enough. Shauna Sanford, WAFB 9 News.
We're told the survey has a 6.3% margin of error. Dow says it does not plan to conduct any more surveys, but does plan to meet again with the residents of Myrtle Grove.
Our top story, LEAN, the Louisiana Environmental Action Network, has brought the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry to interview Myrtle Grove Trailer Park residents in Plaquemine about vinyl chloride in their water. Right now, the agency is at the park with the EPA, developing a public health assessment. They're meeting with adults. They'll meet with children this afternoon when they get out of school. The group has heard one man's story who said he had cancer as a result of the vinyl chloride in the water. The group will be in town today and tomorrow when they'll meet with the DEQ. There will be a meeting tonight for the residents at 7 o'clock, tonight at LEAN's office in Plaquemine.
Tonight, Plaquemine residents living with bad water are speaking out.
Myrtle Grove Trailer Park residents say after 5 meetings about the vinyl chloride in their water, Department of Health and Hospitals officials are ignoring their concerns. Tonight, the residents rejected an offer by the state to submit medical records for an exam with a state-appointed doctor. Residents want their own doctor and a long-term commitment from the state.
Well, we're not buying it. And as a community, we are not going to stand by and let them hurt us anymore.
We're allowing people to give us answers who actually knew about it. So it's like asking someone who committed a murder to go do the investigation of the murder.
DHH physician Dr. Jimmy Guidry tells Channel 2 tonight that he is working to build the residents' trust. He adds the state will contract an environmental specialist who will likely work with local doctors.